Most people spend years learning slowly, trying to memorize by rereading, highlighting, just to forget it all and having to start over and over again. But if you apply these 6 proven principles, you can cut your learning time in half and actually remember what you learn, whether it's for school, work, or mastering a new skill. These are research-backed techniques. And by the end of this video, you know exactly how to learn faster and remember it. Principle number 1. Active recall and spaced repetition. Highlighting, summarizing, rereading, and trying to cram everything in your head might feel productive, but these are actually some of the least effective study methods you can do. And you end up wasting a lot of time without having a lot to show for it. The reason is that there's a huge difference between having to actually recall the information and merely recognizing it when you see it in your notes again. Because our brains learn best when it has to work hard to retrieve the answer from our memory. Because the extra effort strengthens the neural connections. However, our brain is optimized to forget information that doesn't seem important in order to save mental storage space. According to the forgetting curve, you lose most of what you've learned within days if you don't actively review it. Each review resets the curve, and the drop in memory becomes steeper and steeper with every repetition. That's why we need to combine active recall with a method called spaced repetition. The optimal science-based review rhythm to combat the forgetting curve is Step 1. Review on the same day. Step 2. Review it again after 2 to 3 days. 3. Then after 1 week. Then after 2 weeks. After a month, and so on, gradually increasing the spacing. This is the most effective way to learn and remember things for the long term. And there are several ways you can practice this. Method number 1. Blurting. After studying, close your notes and on an extra sheet of paper, write down everything you remember. Then you can go back to your notes and fill in what you've missed. And repeat this process until you get nothing wrong. Method number 2. Flashcards. Preferably digital flashcards. Tools like Anki and Quizlet have built-in spaced repetition algorithms to schedule your reviews for maximum retention. Number 3. Take regular practice exams. You can use old exam papers or create your own practice questions to simulate exam conditions and to force yourself to fully recall what you've learned. Principle number 2. Flow state. Do you remember the last time that you were so focused on something that hours flew by like minutes? That's called flow. It's a mental state where learning feels natural and effortless. Flow happens when a challenge is just right. Not too easy that you get bored, and not too hard that you get overwhelmed. In this state, your brain releases dopamine, which improves motivation, focus, and memory formation. So how do we get into flow? First, you need to set a crystal clear, specific goal before you start. You need to know exactly what you want to achieve in the session. Second, match the difficulty to your skill level and increase the challenge as you improve. Third, put your phone on airplane mode. Or even better, put it in another room. Have no extra tabs open and have notifications turned off. Fourth, use time blocks and take breaks. For example, you can use the Pomodoro method. Set a timer for 25 to 50 minutes for a deep focus session, and after each session, take a 5 to 10 minute break and repeat. And fifth, get immediate feedback. Track your progress, check the answers, and mark completed steps. When you structure your learning sessions like this, you not only stay focused longer, but you also make the learning progress more enjoyable, which means you stick with it over time. Principle number 3. Cognitive load and dual coding. Your brain's working memory is like a computer's RAM. It can only handle a limited amount of information at once. If you overload it, learning slows down and retention drops. That's why you want to reduce cognitive load by breaking complex topics into smaller chunks before moving on. For example, instead of trying to memorize an entire chapter in one go, focus on one section. Quiz yourself on it and only then move forward. That gives your brain breathing room and keeps overload away. Another powerful method is dual coding, which means combining words with visuals to strengthen memory pathways. When you process information through both verbal and visual channels, your brain creates stronger and more diverse connections, because each channel is stored in different parts of the brain, giving you multiple retrieval routes when you try to recall it later. For example, pair a written explanation with a diagram, a mind map, or color-coded notes. You can even explain a concept while sketching it, which forces your brain to store the same concept in multiple ways, making it far easier to recall later. When you manage cognitive load effectively and apply dual coding, You're learning in a way that's both faster and longer lasting. Principle number 4, the Feynman technique. Richard Feynman, a Nobel Prize-winning physicist, had a simple rule. If you can't explain something simply, you don't really understand it. And here's how it works. First, choose a topic you want to learn and then explain it as if you were teaching a 12-year-old by using simple words and clear examples. While doing this, you'll notice parts where your explanation gets shaky or overly complicated. Those gaps are your signal to go back, review the material, simplify it further, and try again. You can make this method even more effective by writing your explanation down and reading it aloud, or even by teaching it to an actual person that has no idea what this topic is even about. The key is that you're not just repeating information, you're reconstructing it in your own words, which forces your brain to organize and deeply process the material. Principle number 5, transfer and interleaving. One of the biggest mistakes in learning is practicing in only one fixed context. That's why you might ace problems in a study session, but struggle when they look slightly different on a test. To avoid this, you need the ability to transfer, the skill to apply what you've learned to new situations. Transfer happens when you practice in varied contexts. For example, if you're learning guitar chords, don't just practice them in the same song. Use them in different songs, improvise with them, and apply them while playing along with backing tracks. A related strategy is interleaving, which means mixing different topics or problem types instead of repeating the same one over and over. For example, in math, that might mean alternating between algebra, geometry, and word problems in the same study session. It feels harder at first, but that difficulty is actually a sign that your brain is working harder to retrieve and apply the knowledge, which makes it stick longer. And the last one, principle number 6, biohacks. Your brain is part of your body, and if your body isn't performing well, your brain won't either. There are 3 key factors that have the biggest impact on how well you can learn. Sleep, exercise, and nutrition. Sleep is when your brain consolidates memories, moving them from a short-term to your long-term memory. Without enough quality sleep, most of what you've studied won't actually stick, and the entire day of learning was wasted. The rule of thumb: aim for a consistent sleep time and get 7 to 9 hours sleep every night to maximize retention. 2. Exercise increases blood flow to the brain and boosts BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, a chemical that supports growth and strengthens new connections. Even short bursts of physical activity, like a 20-minute walk or a quick workout, can improve focus and memory. 3. Nutrition provides the raw materials your brain needs to function. Omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants like flavonoids, and proper hydration all support cognitive performance. On the flip side, a diet high in processed foods, high sugar, can impair focus and energy. For an extra boost, try timing your study sessions right after your workout to take advantage of the increased alertness and energy, or take a short nap after learning to lock in the knowledge. When you take care of your body, you give your brain the optimal environment to learn faster and remember longer. So here's a quick recap of the 6 principles that will help you learn anything faster. Number 1, active recall and spaced repetition. Test yourself and review at increasing intervals. Number 2, flow state. Match the difficulty to skill level and focus without distractions. Number 3, cognitive load and dual coding. Break information into chunks and combine words with visuals. Number 4, the Feynman technique. Explain it simply to truly understand it. Number 5, transfer and interleaving. Practice in different contexts and mix topics. And number 6, sleep, exercise, and nutrition. Take care of your body to make the most of your brain. And the last tip, don't try to apply everything at once. Pick just one principle and use it today. Once it becomes a habit, layer in another one. This way, you'll improve faster without feeling overwhelmed. And if you're ready for more, click on the video that's popping up on screen. I'll see you there. Bye!